In my phone, I keep a picture with a quote. In the land of Israel, anyone who doesn't believe in miracles is not a realist. The picture is of David Ben-Gurion, first Prime Minister of Israel, who spoke these words. In the land of Israel, anyone who doesn't believe in miracles is not a realist. And there is a long, long list of miracles. So here we are in 2022. In the late summer of 1897, exactly 125 years ago, a remarkable and yet potentially forgettable event took place in Basel, Switzerland. It was the first Zionist Congress ever held. Remarkable because Jews came from all four corners of the world. And they came to talk about and dream about the reestablishment of a Jewish home in our ancient homeland. The convener and the headliner of the Congress was a Jew who was as assimilated as a Jew could possibly be. He was a playwright. He was a journalist. He looked like Viennese high society. He was a young man whose black beard was meticulously maintained. Had he lived long enough for the beard to turn gray and white, Exhibit A, he could have been thought to be a prophet. And maybe, in fact, he was. His name was Theodor Herzl. How does an assimilated Jew come to be the great prophet of a reestablished Jewish homeland? So as a journalist, he was covering the trial of Captain Alfred Dreyfus in France, a Jew accused of treason. But it was clear to this reporter and to so many others that Captain Dreyfus was being framed because he was a convenient scapegoat. He was a Jew. And if that could happen in the land of liberté, égalité, fraternité, Jews were not free or safe anywhere in the world. First World Zionist Congress took place at the end of August 1897. A few days later, on September 3rd, Theodor Herzl said, "At Basel, I founded the Jewish state. In 5 years," he said, "in 5 years perhaps, and certainly in 50 years, everyone will perceive it." Well, many, if not most, found Herzl's idea to be preposterous. But Herzl iterated and reiterated his motto. He would say time and time again, if you will it, it is no dream. It's been translated into Hebrew. Im tirtzu ein zo agada. If you will it, it is no dream. And 50 years later, in November 1947, the nascent United Nations voted in favor of what became known as the Partition Plan, a separate Arab and a separate Jewish state in Palestine. Like we say on Hanukkah, a great miracle happened there. It was a miracle. It was a miracle. Not so much for the Arabs. The Arabs rejected the vote. And yet Jews spent that November night dancing in the streets. And just 6 months later, David Ben-Gurion, the realist who made miracles happen, declared the establishment of the Jewish homeland to be called Medinat Yisrael, the state of Israel. Miracles don't come easy. The Jewish chalutzim, the pioneers, survivors of the camps, refugees from Arab lands had to fight off 5, 6, 7 Arab countries, and they did. And they did. And again, a miracle. One day in Jerusalem this summer, in the Beit Vagan neighborhood, very close to our apartment, I was walking on Rav Uziel Street. You know, there's so many great things about Israel, but where can you find streets named after rabbis and great Jewish historians and scholars? And Abraham Lincoln also. There's a George Washington Street, but this is Rav Uziel. So I was walking on Rav Uziel Street back to the car after doing nothing at all that special. I stopped at a hardware store and the local grocery store that's called Zol Vigadol, which means inexpensive and big. It's really not so big, and in fact, it's pretty expensive. But, you know, marketing is marketing. Zol Vigadol. And then I couldn't help but across the street, I stopped into the bakery for an iced coffee and something sweet. Okay, tomorrow night. For some reason, as I was walking back to the car, I just stopped. Stopped walking. And I took it all in. It overcame me. It overcame me. I said, here I am. I said to myself, here I am in Jerusalem. Here I have the zechut, the merit to be here in Jerusalem. I am living what hundreds of generations of Jews dreamed about and prayed for. It is nothing short of a miracle. So that night, I had dinner with my niece Jennifer in Tel Aviv, and I told her about my wow experience in the afternoon, and I said, Jen, I hope you never take for granted that you are living in this amazing place. She doesn't take it for granted. That's why she made Aliyah and made Israel her home. She is living the miracle. But friends, I know that we are not so easily sold on miracles. Some are not so easily sold on God. We are the products of an education that values empirical reality. Show me something that I can see and touch and measure, and leave the miracles and belief for poets and mystics. I believe in things I cannot see. I believe in things I cannot touch and I cannot measure because I am a realist. I am gifted to be surrounded by miracles. I see miracles every time I stand with a young couple under the chuppah, pledging their lives to each other. I look at the two of them so much in love. And I say to myself, this is a miracle. It's a miracle. I see miracles when I name a baby boy at his Brit Milah, or a little baby girl on the bima here. I see miracles when I see someone so terribly ill recover with a new chance to live again. The 18th century Baal Shem Tov, founder of Hasidism, the Baal Shem Tov, the master of a good name, once said, "The world is filled with wonders and miracles, but man takes his hand and covers his eyes and sees very little. We're missing all these great miracles happening all around us because we're too busy. We have too much on our mind. We're just not tuned in. So the first thing about miracles, they don't just happen by themselves. Marv Walensik, who's with us via live stream. Marv, this story's for you. Marv's favorite biblical character is Nachshon. Okay, Marv, here's how it goes. We just spoke on the phone last night. The Israelites had just escaped Egyptian bondage and marched toward the sea. And they could see the water ahead and the Egyptians chasing them from behind. Moses was in a panic. He turned to God in prayer. And God responded in so many words. Moses, Moses, don't just stand there and pray. Do something. It took the courage of Nachshon ben Aminadav, Marv, you're Nachshon, to walk into the waters up to his neck and beyond, and then the waters parted miraculously. Okay. Take the story literally, if you like. Take it metaphorically, if you like. It may be true, may not be true, but it expresses a truth. A truth. We make miracles happen. On February 24th, no learned scholar of the Russian and Ukrainian military said that there was a chance in the world of Ukraine emerging victoriously. The president of Ukraine said his country would win the war. The war is not yet over, of course, but as of today, every day, you gotta read the news every day because there's more miracles happening every day. You can't believe it. Who would have thought? It is a miracle in the making. It's a miracle in the making. Read Jewish history, and I promise you, you will say, it is a miracle that the Jewish people is alive today, that we are here today in a synagogue. Look at us sitting here, free, doing well in so many different ways. After the history that our people have gone through, we are living the miracle. Here in America, in Israel, in so many countries in the world. And how grateful we are for this miracle. I have the feeling that all prior generations of Jews look to us today to keep the miracle alive. And so on this night dedicated to vows, let us each individually and collectively promise to keep the dream of Theodor Herzl alive, keeping the miracle of Israel strong and the ongoing future of the Jewish people a reality. I have something in my phone that I have there for me to make reference to something. So, of course, it's now saying, for face recognition, well, what am I going to do? Hold it up in front of me. So, okay, I got it. Okay, I got it. Cantor sent it to me. I've never quoted or even made mention of a group called the Ramones. Evidently, some of you know the Ramones. Huh? The Ramones. They were a 1970s, and I guess maybe after, a punk group. Evidently, we have some punkers here. Huh? And their most famous song was, "I Want to Be Sedated." That's what they thought was a miracle. I want to be sedated. Well, you know, they were kind of out there, and I have to admit, I never really listened to their music. But I found the lyrics of a song that they sang that is an absolute work of art. It's called "I Believe in Miracles." It's hard to imagine the Ramones, "I Want to Be Sedated," singing this song. But here it goes. No, we're not going to sing it. I believe in miracles because I'm one. I have been blessed with the power to survive. After all these years, I'm still alive. I believe in miracles. I believe in a better world for me and you. Oh, I believe in miracles. I believe in a better world for me and you. I close my eyes and think how it might be. The future's here today. It's not too late. No, it's not too late. I believe in miracles. I believe in a better world for me and you. Oh, I believe in miracles. And so, dear friends, on this Kol Nidre night, let us remove our hands from covering our eyes so that we can see and celebrate the miracles that are all around us. The miracle of love, of a baby being born, of healing and recovery, you and I. And 125 years later of that day in 1897, the existence of the State of Israel in our lifetime. It's a miracle. And let us remember, miracles don't just happen by themselves. We make miracles happen. And we keep miracles alive. I guess I'm done because Carl came up to the first row. What am I going to do? Keep talking now? You're here already, Carl. You might as well come up. So